Samanta Chakvalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhangmang Munirajas Sunantu Sagga Mukkadam Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Jiranti veraja ratha sucitta Ato sarirang jarang upeti Satang ca dhammon jarang upeti Santo have sabbhi pavedayanti ti. Dear friends in Dhamma, today, as usually, we are broadcasting the Dhamma sermon from Ottawa Theravada Buddhist Vihara in Canada. So every Monday evening, we are delivering Dhamma sermon for your giving special advices to increase and to develop your mental health, to develop your lifestyle, reducing your negative thoughts, to reduce your mental illnesses. We are delivering, we are advising for all of them to listen this Dhamma sermon for better convenience of your life. Actually, the Lord Buddha's main focus based on psychology. So that's what we can, another way, the Buddhism introduced the psychological philosophy. We can introduce like that. So that's why the Buddha's main observation was the mind, intentions. So that's why, so it looks like a computer, you know, without coding, the computers, there is no working computer, right? So that is the same way, that's the similar way to how to proceed our mindset without any intentions, without any ideas. there is no mindset. Right? So the intentions are the based producing thing for the mind. That's what the Lord Buddha said. Durang gamang ekacharang asarirang guhasayang. This mind goes far away. Durang gamang. Ekacharang. This mind is living alone. There is no any friend, or there is no any person who are going accompanying this oneself mind. The usually mind is using this fathom long body to proceed to process their own works, their own intentions. So that is what the Lord Buddha understood, that how to create, how to arises those types of intentions, the insight of our minds. So that is why the Lord Buddha said in the sutta called Dajagga, in the discourse of connection, the Samyutta Nikaya, Ehi passiko vinyu heti. This Buddhist philosophy is convenience to understand only wiser persons. Someone who has great knowledge, they are the person who are able to understand this greatest doctrine. That's why I have explained in beginning of my Dhamma sermon, the Buddhism is, on the other hand, we can call in modern world psychology, right? The psychology is investigating or teaching mainly about mind, about consciousness. Buddhism is doing same way to analyzing of mind and their intentions. Today, Dhamma sermon, I want to explain about the special elements the Lord Buddha understood. We can call in Pali Thrilakshana. That means the 3 types of marks. So we can simply explain about those 3. What are the characteristics of every and each phenomenal existence. That is what the nature of those 3 types of marks. Thrilakshana. T mean in Pali 3. Right? It is easy. So the Lakkana mean marks or signs. We can say 3 types of marks that we have to understand in this life to attain ultimate peace of truth, to ultimate stage of nirvana. That's why how important of learning, of understanding these 3 types of elements. The first one we can called anicca, impermanence, or non-stable, non-constant. Anicca mean. That's the first element. The second one is, we can say, dukkha. That's very common word in Buddhism. Everybody knows about that word, suffering or lamentation. That's very common words. The third mark is anatma. That means non-self. Anicca, dukkha, anatma. Impermanence, suffering, non-self. Selflessness, or we can say. I have chanted one special stanza at the beginning of my Dhamma sermon. That Pali poem I have illustrated from Dhammapada in Jaravagga. I want to chant again. That is for your convenience, actually. Jirantive Raja Ratha Suchitta Atho Sarirangpi Jarang Upeti Satancha Dhammona Jarang Upeti Santo Have Sabbhi Pavedayanti. That's what a sweetest Pali poem among 426 Pali Gathas in Dhammapada. Everybody know the Dhammapada. That's the collection of stanzas which was the Lord Buddha chanted various occasions at his lifetime. So there are 426 Pali stanzas included to that books. That's very small book, actually. So everybody can read. So that is what a great advisable book. Every and each Pali Gathas gives us one or two advices with using of various parables, various similes, or some types of similes, right? The using of similes, the Lord Buddha gives us a lot of advices to successful to develop our inside thoughts, to proceed to process our life until understand of nirvana. The Lord Buddha showed us this is the way you have to follow. This is the way you do not have to follow. Anyway, so in this Gatha, explaining about impermanence, we can analyze this Pali poem actually sentence by sentence. Jiranti ve Raja Rata Suchitta. It means, the Raja Rata, at the period of Buddha's time, there was ruling some parts of country in India or wherever in country at the period of 6th century or after. Kings. The kings are the rulers at the period of ancient period. So the vehicle was chariots. Each kings have very beautiful, very gorgeous chariots. It's like it was very beautiful. There was special horses to ride them. The Lord Buddha said, even those types of gorgeous chariots are decaying. That is the nature of this impermanency. That's the nature of all the stuff, beautiful or ugly or whatever looks like. They are going to decaying. That's what the Lord Buddha explained in first sentence of this Pali Gatha. Jiranti ve Raja Ratha Suchitta. Jiranti means decaying or declining or ending up. Ato sarirangpi jarang upeti. So that is what the Buddha wanted to use that simile to explain the second sentence. Ato sarirangpi jarang upeti. Even this patham long body also decaying. That's the nature of this patham long body. That's what the Lord Buddha wanted to explain or to give us more convenience of understanding of this patham long body. One day you have to face, you have to understand this patham long body is going to ending up. Ato sarirangpi jarang upeti. Satancha dhammona jarang upeti. The third sentence of this poem is going to explain even the gorgeous chariots are decaying, even patham long bodies are decaying, but the thing is, the special thing is not decaying. What is that special thing? That is what the Lord Buddha said, that satancha dhammo, that is the one is not going to decaying forever, everlasting, not decaying, this special aspect. What is that? That is satancha dhammo. The doctrine of Buddha is not decaying forever. That's the everlasting thing. Satancha, actually, so we can say satancha, we can explain in another way. That means auspicious persons' elaborations, or the auspicious things of someone who gives us, or good things, or good person, something give us with good advice. You know, we can explain, like example, Buddhism. The Buddhism is universal truth. That is not decaying. Santo have sabbhi pavedayanti. Every good friends mean sappurisa. Every good friends are telling about that. That is the simple meaning of this Pali poem. I'm able to explain, I'm able to tell you at once for your convenience actually. Jirang tive raja ratha suchitta ato sarirang pi jarang upeti satancha dhammona jarang upeti santo have sabbi pavedayanti. Even though chariots of king are decaying, also decaying our fathom long bodies, but the universal truths or good advisable doctrines are not decaying. That is what the good friends are always explaining in the world. You know, when it comes to Theragata Pali or Therigata Pali, we can see one sentence every Pali poems in Theragata or Therigata Pali books. So that is what saying the Lord Buddha's word is not declining. That's why how important understanding of these three types of aspects for our life gives more energetic ideas to understand what is the nature of person. The person means satta, satta or puggala or this world, loka. These three types of marks really gives us to understand nature of things. Understanding of this nature of things, we can transfer our thoughts, we can transfer our negative thoughts to positive way. You know, in modern world, there is one mental disease we can call frustration. That mental disease prevailing throughout world among people. The special thing is, you know, animals are not facing mental illnesses. There is no any mental illnesses for the animals. I would ask you, if you see or if you heard any animal mental illnesses, you can comment down below. But there are a variety of mental illnesses arising in human mind. That is why the Lord Buddha said, the human mind is the powerful, unseenable or unwatchable thing, right? So that is the most powerful equipment in this planet. That's why we have to observe about our thoughts. We have to give our awareness for our intentions. With living of awareness in our life is leading good way. You know, in Rahulovada Sutta, in Majjhima Nikaya, the Lord Buddha explained to Prince, little Venerable Rahula to understand these three types of marks. The Lord Buddha asked, what is the cause of this suffering? The Prince Siddhartha answered to Buddha's question, this suffering is based on anicca. And then the Lord Buddha asked, how to arising this anicca? So the Lord Buddha actually explained these three aspects with giving of similes to Prince, to little Venerable Rahula. Right? Anicchata. So we can explain another way, Uppada Titi Bhanga. That's the every stuff's nature. I can explain in another way. How can we understand the nature of anicchata, the nature of impermanence? We can say there are three things occurring to each and every stuff. Right? What are they? Uppada, that means rising. Titi, existing. The third one is bhanga, ceasing or decaying or ending up. Right? Those three types of aspects included to understand impermanence. Right? Like example, when we see the lighting bulb, we are only just seeing that bulb is working. If we can fix some types of machine to reduce the electric power, and then we can see the light is number of 1,000 more times are on and off. But the human eye couldn't able to see that process. So that is why the human mind is always full of illusion, full of delusion. Lobha, dosa, moha, the greediness or illusions or hatred. Those three types of defilements that we have to eradicate from human mind. That's what we are meditating for our life. So as much as we can do, that's what the Lord Buddha advised to meditate, to process, decrease those three types of mental defilements, to purify our mindset. That's the first step actually to understand three marks, anicca, dukkha, anatta, by ourselves. If we are getting hungry, or if we want to dress any clothes, anybody can help us to giving those types of foods or dresses, but there is no any solution to understand this reality of existing world. We have to do by ourselves. That's what the Lord Buddha said, Attanang damayanti pandita. Pandita means wise person. Damayanti means understanding, controlling, researching, or observing, we can say. Attanang damayanti. Attanang means this consciousness. The wise man can control their own mind. That's the way how to purify our inside mind thoughts with understanding of these three marks. There is no any things that we can grasp. Those things are mine. That is what mean in the word of anatta. Atta mean self. So the opposite word, we can add suffix the in front of the atta, ana. Ana, that's the two letters are na, ana. Those two letters giving negative ideas, and then fixing those two words, ana and atta, anatta, that means selflessness. Right? So somebody can think about, this is my body, this is my house, this is my vehicle, or the husband can say, this is my wife, or this is my children. But how can we say like that? There is no any any stuff or anything we cannot control. The variety of body, the variety of mind, the variety of consciousness. The Lord Buddha said, Nanatta Kaya, Nanatta Sanya. How can we control others? How can we able to control others' thoughts? We cannot do that. That is not right way. We have to control ourselves by using of this great doctrine to process, to understand ultimate truth of cessation of suffering. You know, thousand thoughts are arising day-to-day life inside of our mind. We do not know what types of intentions are arising to our mindset. We cannot give all the answers, all the actions to those types of all the intentions. Some of them we are giving access to activate some intentions to proceed. That is actually for our to live. We are normally doing day-to-day things for our convenience in our life. But every and each ideas we cannot activate. You know, in every human beings who are living in this planet, if activate all the intentions which is arising to their mind, there is no any human world. It would be animal world. Seriously, it would be animal world. That is why this great doctrine is especially for human mind to understand the nature of things, the nature of world, the nature of characteristics of persons. This human life is what a great occasion to understand ultimate truth of cessation of suffering. That is why we have come to in this human world. That is our major business. That is our major career. That is our major responsibilities. That's our major major thing that we have to do in our lifetime. We have to reduce our mental suffering. Someone who cannot understand these 3 marks, they cannot emphasize the things which is existing in this world. Every stuff which is we are using day-to-day life are made by 4 things. What are them? The 4 elements, that we can explain water, air, fire, Patavi, the soil. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Patavi means soil, and then Patavi, Apo mean water, Tejo mean fire, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Vayo mean air. Those four elements made of all the stuffs which is we are using day-to-day life. The various colors or various types of styles, the various types of prices. But we have to understand all the things that we are seeing or that we are hearing or that we are tasting or that we are touching or that we are smelling, all the things made by those four types of elements. We cannot control them, but the only thing we can do, it is understand. That is what we have to understand in anatta, selflessness. We cannot control, we cannot do on our own way with using of all the things. The all things are always, each and every moment, changing, or it taking variety of styles. It takes variety of passions. That's why we have to we are living. What a fantasy world. What a fantasy world. The Buddhism elucidate about this fantasy world. You have to understand the reality of processing of this world and worldly beings. The Lord Buddha the Lord Buddha spent his whole throughout life to give understanding of this great doctrine, these three types of marks explaining everywhere, village by village, country by country. The Lord Buddha had been going throughout villages, giving or explaining these great doctrines for convenience of human beings. That is how importance of hearing this Dhamma in our life. The second thing is suffering. The mental suffering, the mental illnesses, the mental diseases. The Lord Buddha elucidated all the mental diseases how to arise these mental suffering, how to recognize them, how to deal with them, and then finally how to get rid of all the mental suffering from our mind. On the one occasion, the Lord Buddha preached one great poem in Dhammapada, Sabbe Sankara Dukkhati Yada Panyaya Passati Ata Nibbindati Dukkhe Esamaggo Visuddhiyo. What is the ultimate, what is the way how to understand the final or ultimate truth? That's the way the Lord Buddha said, someone who can able to understand every conditions, every formations are based on this suffering, that is the person who can understand ultimate truth. We can simply say, with using of our voice, with using of our knowledge, we have to emphasize every conditions are created by suffering. Every formations are based on suffering. With getting rid of them, there is no any condition. The world is running with using of these conditions. The conditions based on suffering. That's why with using of these conditions, we have to understand, we have to encourage, we have to try to get rid of all the sufferings from these conditions. That is our major career should be. Without understanding these types of suffering, how can we get rid all the mental illnesses? There is no any way. That's why the utmost thing is understanding these three types of marks with using of great doctrine. Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. That's what I wanted to explain in my Dhamma sermon today. Actually, this is great 3 words in Buddhism. Every Buddhas explain these 3 types of aspects in their philosophy. The Buddhism actually gives us to understand mind and body in psychic and physics. That's what the human body's main parts, Nama and Rupa. Understanding of those 2 is giving more convenience to choose wants and needs, right? So that gives us lot of knowledge to us, purifying our mindset with understanding of these great Dhamma. That's why we have to listen doctrines as much as possible in our life during doing our day-to-day things. We have to listen Dhamma at least one word for a day. So I'm going to ending up my Dhamma sermon today. I have explained a lot of things. I think those things are especially gives a lot of advisable information for our life. Those types of doctrines are leading our life to purify our mindset. There is another importance. With working the mind, which is fulfilled of thoughts that purifying is giving to a lot of happiness to our life. Someone who wants to live with happy, they have to listen Dhamma, they have to practice Dhamma, they have to prevail Dhamma among others. That is the way how to live with happily throughout our lifetime. I'm ending up my Dhamma sermon today. Finally, I wish you all the best, and I want to transfer all the merits to all the heavenly beings. May all the heavenly beings sharing these good meritorious deeds which is we have accumulated in this moment with listening of this great doctrine, may protect your all family, may protect your all family members, all friends, and your houses and all the things. Finally, all heavenly beings may attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Akasattha cha bummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mang paranti. Abhivadana silis niccang vaddapachayino chantaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu sabbitiyo vivajjanto sabbarogo vinassato mate bhavatu antarayo sukhe digayuko bhava bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddha anubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhamma anubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba sangha anubhavena සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ දේවෝ වස්සතු කාලේන සස්ස සංපත්ති හෝතු ච පීතෝ භවතු ලෝකෝච රාජා භවතු ධම්මිකෝ සාදු සාදු සාදු